My life's changed a lot now. I go uni now. And, I like uni. I've been fortunate to meet people from all over the world. By that, I mean a few suburbs outside of London and Beijing. It is cool, though. It is cool. Especially like my first year uni, right? Because I lived with 5 Chinese students in it, yeah? And, that was jokes, right? Because, it was like real life rush hour. But, no, it was cool. They were actually all right. There's this stereotype, yeah, that like Chinese people only like to speak to each other and they don't really like mix with like other ethnicities, yeah. I found out, I was talking to one of the Chinese guys I lived with, yeah, and he was like, I asked him, I was like, how do you feel about that, like perception of your people? He was like, man, it's not fair, man. We don't actually think that. It's just some of these dudes don't actually speak English. And I was like, well, it's harsh. They were anyway. But back to the Chinese people. But like I say, I lived with 5 Chinese students in it. And there's nothing weird about living with 5 Chinese students. But what was weird about living with 5 Chinese students is that one of these Chinese students I lived with, he was head of the Chinese society, innit? Now, there's nothing weird about living with the head of the Chinese society. But what was weird about living with the head of the Chinese society is at times there'll be like 60 Chinese people in the flat at one time. Now, there's nothing weird about 60 Chinese people in the flat at one time. But what was weird about 60 Chinese people in the flat at one time is that they would sometimes have these huge dinners in the kitchen. Now, there's nothing weird about 60 Chinese people having huge dinners in the kitchen. But what was weird about that is one of these Chinese guys would take a photo of me eating dinner at the front, which looks like a bit of a strange fucking picture, mate. And one of these Chinese guys, right, he thinks he's got banner in it. So he put the photo on Instagram, yeah, and all his friends back in Beijing, they were like, yo, who's your friend, man? Who's your friend? Because they'd never seen anyone that looks like me. It's like, who's your mate, man? And he's like, bruv, you don't know this guy, man? MC Mamoune, man, big grime rapper from England, man. Obviously ridiculous. But no, it's all right for me on the whole, because I'm quite a quiet person off stage. I'm quite reserved. And I never knew how beneficial that would be for me, being a quiet black male. Because my quiet white male counterparts, they get the opposite treatment. People judge them. People attack them. People don't let them be quiet in peace. People go, fucking hell, look at Tim in the corner. Unnerving everyone at the whole gathering. No wonder you've got no friends, Tim, you awkward weirdo. When it comes to man like me, they go, oh, wow, look at Mamoune, sat there in the corner, emitting such a mysterious inner city vibe.